But in America, obviously, it speeded up a whole process. You know, we didn't go there and tour for years and years and years because MTV kind of did it for us.
I think it sped up the process. It didn't replace road work. And at the time, I remember having some discussions with some of my buddies. Says, "Hey, we don't have to go on tour anymore. Now we just make a video."
It certainly helps, you know, to have your video played 20 times a day on TV.
The trouble is with being a visual artist is that the visual aspects of one's art generally leave their marks more graphically than the more musical form of what you do.
I originally disliked MTV quite a lot because I thought it was a real safe player, you know. And I still think it does play safe in many ways, but I think that it's undeniably created a forum for some of the most interesting film and video work that's been done in the last 10 years.
It's like a lot of things today are forced on you, you know, in your ears, in your eyes, whether you walk down the street with neon signs, music blaring in lifts, in restaurants, and a lot of the time MTV can be like that. It's just like wallpaper blaring at you. But every now and then, you know, there's a great filmmaker or a great group that has a great thing on, and it's worth it for that.
Video is the worst thing that ever happened to music.
It's taken a lot of magic out of music.
What the video age and MTV has killed off is this whole thing about how now a song is this visual. You know, the great thing, you know, back in the early days was you could just sit there and hear these songs and make up your own images and find your own things in it and let your mind wander.
That's the way you do it. You play the guitar.
And artists that are actually not particularly over-talented, but because they look the part, become stars. Fortunately, we came in before that started. But I mean, would you get someone like me now that, you know, that doesn't look like $1 million? No, I don't think you would.
If they're on television all the time, you've taken some of the thrill of it out.
Now, when I was a kid and, you know, David Bowie was playing at Lewisham Odeon, it was a big thing. It was like 6 months of waiting, and it was exciting. You know, now you just turn on your telly, it's like, oh, David Bowie, oh, yeah, Kiss. Oh.
I've seen things on MTV that have just made my eyes go like this. They're shockingly original and fabulous things. Some of the best video makers now can do things in a 4-minute pop video that they would never ever be able to do in any other forum. I'm thinking, for instance, of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Rock and roll is sexuality personified. It's attitudes. It's all the things that your parents told you don't do, you can do. It's the freedom to express yourself. It's a good time. It's being alive. It expresses the times. It's a magazine, newspaper that's the truth. If you listen to rap today, it's all about the truth, which is all we all want, is just give me a little bit of truth. Middle America might be saying, not in my backyard. And they would never see what was going on if it was up to them. Out of sight, out of mind seems to be their credo.
As Americans across the country began to accept rap as a reputable form of music, the West Coast rappers joined in with an even harsher view of the inner city, gangster rap.
This is what this guy sees. This is what this child has seen all of his life. But when you put a beat to it and put some rhythm, you say, ooh, you don't want to hear it. You understand me? But he's only telling you what he was raised around. This is what he is. This is in his environment. And he's expressing it the only way he knows how, or she knows how to express it.
I'm expressing with my full capabilities, and now I'm living in correctional facilities. Cause some don't agree with how I do this. I get straight and meditate like a Buddhist. I'm dropping flavor, my behavior is hereditary, but my technique is very necessary. Blame it on Ice Cube, because he said it get funky when you got a subject and a predicate.
Well, you know, N.W.A, niggas with attitudes. When I first heard their first album, Straight Outta Compton, I thought it was brilliant.
They said things outwardly, on tape, on record, that people will only think.
Some say no to drugs and take a stand, but after the show, they go looking for the dope man.
Some things that you say and do go a long way to influence those that listen. And unfortunately, I feel, my opinion only, that it has only resulted in a lot of negativity within the black community.
It's not negativity, it's negativity. It's negative. And they represent it for the West Coast. They actually single-handedly put the West Coast on the map. Ice-T was doing it. Ice-T was like the forerunner. He was like John the Baptist.
I created the crime rhyme. I was the first person to really rap about crime.
More than the attitude in quote-unquote gangster rap, it's become a thing where a lot of the guys from the West Coast, with what's going on in the neighborhood, is blended with that particular type of music.
Oh man, it sound like you selling out to me, cause I'm from the ghetto, man. I'm supposed to stay in the ghetto all my life. We ain't never supposed to leave here. We black, we supposed to be poor.
Shut up, do you know how dumb you sound? That mentality what keeps my people down. Nobody wants to live in an urban war. You live there cause your parents were poor. They live there cause theirs were also. Get yourself together, hit the gates, bro. You gotta get out, you gotta get out. Why? Gotta get out, you gotta get out. Why? You gotta get out, you gotta get out. Why? Cause the field's the way you die.
And in sales, these guys go platinum and gold like We Breathe.
And rap is going in so many different directions. It's a versatile music.
A lot of white kids are learning a lot about black people because of hip-hop. You know, we all get to learn about each other. Hip-hop is like the CNN for the youth.
You don't start a band to save the world, you know. You really don't. You start a band for all the wrong reasons, you know, just to make a big noise, you know, and roar at the world. That's where it starts. And it's later on in life you develop a conscience, you know.
When you begin to get real popular, you know, you have to be careful that obviously there's not a dilution into some very simplistic terms of what you're doing.
America's future rests in 1,000 dreams inside your hearts. It rests in the message of hope in songs of a man so many young Americans admire, New Jersey's own Bruce Springsteen.
In every city, there's people going hungry. There's old folks whose social security checks don't get them through the month. There's people who've been hit by unemployment. There's people who the trickle-down theory of economics ain't trickling down to.
At the time, you know, part of the idea is I wanted the band to come out to be a bit, you know, of an alternative voice to the image of America that was being presented by the Reagan administration.
Our main streets, whitewashed windows, vacant stores. Seems like there ain't nobody wants to come down here no more. They're closing down the textile mill across the railroad tracks. On it says these jobs are going, boys. your hometown, to your hometown, your hometown, to your hometown. It's not me and Kate, laid in bed, talking about getting out, packing up our bags, maybe heading south. 35, got a boy of our own now. Last night I sat in the behind the wheel and said, son, take a good look around. This is your hometown.
In a way, the communications has affected so many things, you know, in music and even the Berlin Wall and perestroika and glasnost, you know. It's been very powerful when people see what's going on, you know, the information between videos and films and music and everything else. When people absorb this, how powerful it is, you know, that it changes and it pulls the walls down. And it wasn't Interpol or the CIA or anything else that turned all this stuff around. It was music, and it was video, and it was films and information.
This is your hometown. This is your hometown. This is your hometown. This is your hometown.
Well, I think rock and roll is very powerful. It's a tool for bettering the world these days.
The conveyances that give us rock and roll are contributing more to the change in society than rock itself. MTV, for instance, a channel which conveys rock and roll to us, actually instigated a whole method of trying to involve youth with changing politics and voting.
Yo, what's up? It's real popular in rap music right now to diss the establishment.
Oh, baby.
Or complain about the establishment's faults.
I wanna get whipped out.
What needs to be popular is getting y'all out there to vote, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to change the world with rock and roll is it's kind of a funny thought. I don't think you can.
I definitely don't think it has any power to change the world. It only reconfirms or reaffirms two people where they're at. One nice thing it does is it brings people that feel disenfranchised and lonely together.
The whole idea that we could change the world musically, but with good thoughts, positive energy, good vibrations. We could write songs that would make people love each other and not hate each other. We could put an end to war and violence by just positive thinking. Was really a wonderfully innocent idea. It didn't quite work, but it was a great idea.
You know, if you want to change the world, you have to get out there and you change it. You know, music is not going to change it. Music changes the way that you live in the world. It changes the way you see it, but it doesn't change the world itself.
Yo, I don't think we should talk about this.
Come on, why not?
People might misunderstand what we're trying to say, you know? But that's a part of life.
Come on. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex.
I just remember myself in the studio at the time, and we were watching the news, and